I am really excited to bring a lot more energy to these videos. Previously, I've just been a little bit down on myself and a little bit unsure of what I was doing. But now that I've got to 20 videos on YouTube and I've been uploading them pretty consistently, I really want to start pushing myself to make these as fun as they can be and make them as exciting and inspirational for you guys. I think with Inktober, I don't think these have to be exceptional videos, but they can be just fun explorations and interesting, like progressive videos of me pushing through and developing my abilities and my style. And hopefully you guys gain some inspiration and hopefully a little bit more knowledge from that as well. I know there's a bit of controversy with Inktober this year. I mean, there seems to always be. I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in the drama behind, you know, art community shenanigans on YouTube. I have actually watched some of Jake Parker's videos in the past. I even subscribed to his svslearn.com website for I think at least a month or two, and I drank in as many of those videos as I could while I had that subscription. And at conventions, I've even had people say, hey, you got an art style that's kind of like Jake Parker, which is kind of cool, but also kind of not cool. You know, an artist wants to be unique and be as individual as they can be. And that's what leads me to feel that I want to do Inktober a little bit differently this year. What I want to do is not any fan art that resembles other people's intellectual property. No, you know, mashups or, you know, combining different things of pop culture and nostalgia. What I want to do is focus on original ideas. And yes, I've read Steal Like an Artist.
An excerpt from Austin Kleon's Steal Like an Artist. Nothing is original. The writer Jonathan Latham has said that when people call something original, 9 out of 10 times they just don't know the references or the original sources involved. What a good artist understands is that nothing comes from nowhere. All creative work builds on what came before. Nothing is completely original. It's right there in the Bible. There is nothing new under the sun. Some people find this idea depressing, but it fills me with hope. As the French writer André Gide put it, everything that needs to be said has already been said, but since no one was listening, everything must be said again. If we're free from the burden of trying to be completely original, we can stop trying to make something out of nothing, and we can embrace influence instead of running away from it. What is originality? Undetected plagiarism. William Ralph Ing.
From a certain view, there are no original ideas. And, you know, it can be challenging, but I think it is still worthwhile to pursue original concepts and ideas. Focus on viewing the things that you're consuming as influences, not so much something that you want to like meticulously emulate. Something that you just want to look at and go, wow, I like the way they've designed those backgrounds or those characters. I like the colors that they've used here. I like the storytelling going on here. And then just go for a walk, go for a run, sort of go to bed after you've read that book or watched that film. And then in the crack of dawn, at the morning, at the crack of dawn, just get up and don't consume anything. Just jump into your own illustration. And that's that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just jump in here and do a little bit of art, and I'm going to make it extra challenging by simply using a pen. No pencils. Whatever, let's go. So, original October. I will tell you, a little influence that I've had today is that I watched that Enola Holmes film that was on Netflix. And so some of that might come through, but ultimately I'm approaching this blank piece of paper with nothing in my head, aside from, I don't know why, but I got an old school lamp sort of swinging around in my brain. You know, it is, I think, from that Enola Holmes film. There's an old school motorized vehicle that they have in the film, and there's a little lamp on the front of it that sort of caught my eye, and I just found that interesting. But ultimately, I don't know if I will follow that train of thought. I need a moment to think without what do they call it? Gum smashing? Tongue slapping? Whatever. Let's do this shit. I don't know how effective this technique is, but I'm just throwing all kinds of images at my frontal lobe, at my cornea, at the very, essence of my imagination. I'm just churning some things through and thinking, oh, that'd be cool. Not having a conceptual drawing here as well. Every pen line counts. Alright, something stupid, something funny, something fun. The image that I've got in my mind is... So, what the hell do you think I'm drawing? I don't even know if I know. But the idea I've got is a sort of a mummy of some kind. Like with the bandages and that. So you can see I'm trying to do some little, I don't know, what do you call that? Necrosis. Like his flesh is sort of peeling away. God, this is grotesque. I've been doing a lot of grotesque stuff lately. Why is that? I don't know. Like I did that Demon Souls video just the other day. I know why I've opted for a monster actually, now that I think of it. It's because it's nice and easy to like make this ugly, like you can, if I make a mistake with the inks, I can just sort of, he's an ugly character, he's got warts. Oh no, that's not a mistake, that's just a little scratch, he's a monster, right? The originality is gonna come from this, in terms of what I have this mummy doing. He is not going to be putting his hands out in front of him like, not like that. Not the typical, what's the name? This is a sophisticated sort of semi-conscious mummy. Yeah. And the way that you introduce sort of some civilized nature to this character, to this typically brainless character, is that you add a sophisticated prop. And what I've got going on here is good old-fashioned walking stick. No, it's not a stereotypical looking walking stick either, is it? What we've got here is a pretty organic, mangled looking walking stick. So I'll let you in on what I'm thinking for the story of this guy. He's not that original. He's a mummy. He's sort of, maybe the style of how he has been done is a tiny bit original, sort of like a zombie mummy. He's not a straight up, he's not the typical kind of mummy. And like I said with the walking stick, he's semi sort of conscious. He's not just brainless. So maybe there's a little bit of originality. Perhaps there's a bit of originality coming through that, But I will admit, there is, it's in the eye of the beholder. A lot of people will just pass this off as, there's not much to see here. It's an average looking mummy. But others might be able to recognise, hey, it's done something kind of different there. I mean, it's a bit different. I'll leave that up to you guys to judge, And I don't mind that. That's all good. Whatever you think. I mean, I'm pushing it. I'm having a go. I'm thinking about it. I'm not just brainlessly saying, this is, copied from that or whatever. I don't have a reference in front of me. I'm just making it up as I go. Right, I'm thinking I've got to put something in the background. Like, how original is this? His tomb, right? And you can see already, made some mistakes, made some errors. But what you do when you're penciling like this is you make it a part of the image. So I'm just sort of doing some lucid like doodling here. I'm not really thinking too much about it. You know, I am probably disgracing the culture of Egyptian, you know, the Egyptian way of things, of design. But it all comes like this in the service of trying to find some originality. I'm getting a little bit concerned that the like illustrations in the tombs, like in here, will be getting too complicated, and they'll start conflicting with the foreground character illustration. And so I'm gonna try and do some bigger shapes. So some of you might already be looking at this and sort of thinking, damn, I don't know if this Inktober thing is a good idea for Daniel to do. But, you know, because, I mean, I can see it already. There is a bit of there's a questionable quality to this work here, and compared with what I'm usually doing. And I think it's partly because it's the afternoon and I should have done this first thing this morning. Like how I did those Aqua Mutant characters the other month. And look, I'm going to get on top of that sort of thing. And I'm going to get better at this, and I'm going to force myself to do art every day instead of pottering around with social media and all the other crap that I'm doing. You know, I got my part-time job and that, but that doesn't take up as much time. I still have time to do some art, and so I need to buckle down and get in gear, stop procrastinating, do some art. So for a while, as I'm trying to train myself to draw to ink without pencils, you know, the results may be a bit questionable in terms of the quality and what can be learnt from this exercise. But having said that, perhaps that's precisely what can be learnt. Do not rest on your laurels when it comes to your art. Don't stop drawing every week. You know, you need to be practicing so that your skills and your muscles of art are maintained in a good, healthy shape. Instead of doing what I do, they're getting distracted and doing other things, you know. But that's what's great about an event like Inktober, like original October, is that you can push yourself to have a go at drawing a bit more often than you usually do. And it's not going to be, you know, perfect every time. It's not going to be the most fruitful exercise every time, but you will learn, I guarantee. If you sort of step back and watch the progress over the coming days, I reckon you'll see some improvements, as I'm sure I will. God, I hope I will. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. It has been so much fun doing this little drawing for you. And if you're keen to do original October with me, coming up with original ideas without any sort of prompt or whatever, just winging it, just daring yourself to jump in front of a blank canvas and draw something, then yeah.